You ever buy a compact pistol and a few months later think, yes, buddy, we've all been there, trust me. That's why today I'm cutting through all that noise. No clickbait, no influencer bull. Just real compact 9mm pistols that actually earn the trust of folks like you and me, whether they're carried by comps, security, or guys who've trained hard enough to know when a pistol's lying to them. Every pistol in this list is compact not just by size, but by purpose. Lean, reliable, and field proven. The kind you can conceal without compromising your life if it's time to draw. You'll see names you expect, you'll see names you forgot, but I promise that every one of them's worth knowing before you spend another dime in 2025. So let's get into this. You ever overlook something so good it actually pisses you off later on? Because that's what the TP9 Elite SC does to people. It looks like just another subcompact, but pull that trigger and it humbles a whole category. The factory flat face trigger? Insane. Clean break, short reset, no aftermarket needed. This isn't just good for the price, it's a sleeper hit that walks all over higher priced guns. People chase SIG X series or Glocks with flashy upgrades, but the Elite SC shows up ready. It's got that tungsten Cerakote finish that holds up even if you treat it rough. Optics ready slide, reversible mag release, all the pro tier stuff baked into a gun you can actually afford. Carry-wise, it's got the Glock 26's footprint, but better ergos. And yeah, it may be Turkish, but if that scares you, you're probably still paying for brand names instead of performance. Real shooters know this one earns its spot. Don't miss it before prices spike up because word is spreading. Next, we're heading into German territory. You'll want to stay for this. Some people say it's outdated, but they're dead wrong. You hear it all the time. The VP9SK is outdated. But anyone who's actually carried it knows that's pure nonsense. This compact 9mm doesn't scream for attention, but it delivers when it matters. H&K didn't build this gun to go viral, they built it to run hard, stay accurate, and hold up under pressure. That's why folks in law enforcement still trust it to this day. What's funny is, the VP9SK was ahead of its time when it dropped. Striker fired, clean trigger, ambi-controlled, modular backstraps. And now that the market's crowded with gimmicks, all of a sudden this compact is old? Give me a break. This is one of the few compact pistols that actually shoots like a full size. The recoil impulse is soft, the ergos are near perfect, and it doesn't need a dozen accessories to make it work. No hype, just performance. So let the TikTok crowd chase their flashy slides. Real shooters know this thing still hits like a hammer in 2025. Saloon doors swung open and out walked a compact built for trouble. A buddy of mine once said the CZP-10C feels like it was made for a modern-day saloon shootout. Well, he wasn't wrong. We were out at a dusty little range in the middle of nowhere. Dry air, old timber sheds, wind kicking up brass. He had just drawn this thing from his waistband and emptied a full mag faster than I could say, hell no. This compact 9mm has a strange effect on people. It looks calm, clean, but then you shoot it and it bites with full-size control. CZ didn't care about trends here. They cared about balance. Slide mass, recoil impulse, grip angle, everything was tuned just enough to feel dangerous in the right hands. The striker fire trigger surprised the hell out of me, and for a compact, the way it locks in during rapid fire, that ain't normal. That's discipline built into polymer. Think this one's quiet and mean? Well, wait till you see what comes up the list next. It ain't nearly as polite. There's a storm rolling in, and they're saying it might be the last one. I heard it first at a pawn shop in Texas. old man leaned over the counter and whispered, "They're killing the Storm." That's how the rumor started. The Beretta PX4 Storm Compact, one of the few true rotating barrel pistols still in production, was supposedly being phased out. And just like that, folks started snatching them up like gold in a flood. Now look, Beretta never confirmed a damn thing. Not in any official way, at least, but the shelves don't lie, and the Storm's been harder and harder to find these days, especially this compact variant, which is a shame because in terms of control, weight distribution, and recoil absorption, this thing feels like you're firing something far heavier than it looks. The rotating barrel system changes the recoil dynamics completely. It doesn't snap, it rolls. Combine that with Beretta's stellar build quality, ABI controls, and DASA versatility, and you've got one of the best compact pistols ever made, period. If this truly is the last Storm, it's worth owning now before the weather clears and you're left standing in the dry. Here's a reason this one keeps floating around the top of every serious shooter's recommendation list, but barely shows up in casual range packs. That's no accident, mind you. Most people just don't know what they're looking for in a compact carry pistol, but the folks who do know, especially the ones who train, carry, or compete regularly, they never shut up about this one. And it's not just internet praise either. The PDP Compact has earned a reputation for trust under pressure. It's been quietly dominating the professional training world, showing up in more holsters at police and civilian shooting academies than anyone wants to admit. Its trigger feel alone is something Glock fans end up Googling late at night, wondering if they made the right call. But here's the part nobody talks about. It's not easy to find in some states. Demand has been growing and prices are creeping, especially for the optics-ready variants. If you're thinking long-term about a compact pistol you'll never regret owning, this one's got a growing cult behind it, and once it clicks with you, there's no going back. Ever walk into a small-town gun shop, ask for a Glock or a SIG, and the old-timer behind the counter just gives you a look, then pulls out this one from under the glass? This right here is the Ruger American Compact. You won't see it in magazine covers or pinned up behind glass displays in big box stores, but step into the back of a county sheriff's armory or a rural petrol station running tight on funding but high on grit. This is what you'll find in the holster. It doesn't shout, it doesn't sell, it just works. And here's what gets missed. The folks who rely on it day after day, they don't trade it in, not because they have to stick with it, but because they've learned better than to chase something just because it's new. This compact pistol doesn't just earn trust, it keeps it. You won't hear much noise about it, but in the places that actually matter, it's already passed the test. You'll understand why on the day you try one. There's a story some guys don't talk about, the kind that starts with a jam at the wrong time. Years back, a Marine buddy of mine switched from a striker-fired compact he trusted for years, but overseas, dust and heat tore that thing down fast. When he came back stateside, he walked straight into a local Springfield dealer and asked for something built like a tank but fit for daily carry. That's when the Echelon Compact entered the picture. This isn't just a trimmed down full size. Springfield kept the heart of a duty gun and gave it a leaner frame. Steel chassis, dead reliable action, runs cold, runs dirty. It's not some range princess, it's a field pistol cut to compact size. And the wild part? It's still flying under the radar for most folks. Some don't even know the 4.0 compact version exists, but those who carry it, they know what it's worth. Because when your back's to the wall, you don't need hype, you need something that never quits. And if you thought that was dependable, wait until you see the next one. A true sleeper in the compact world that doesn't just perform, it punches way above its price tag. You know what separates a cheap gun from a budget pistol done right? the moment it hits the dirt and still fires like nothing happened. This is what inspired me to delve deeper into the STR9 Compact. I saw it tossed across a dusty range in Arizona, no case, no care. Guy picked it up, loaded a fresh mag, and sent all 15 rounds clean through steel at 25 yards. No FTFs, no drama. Stoeger built this thing like they wanted it to be punished. The ergonomics are simple but familiar, the recoil, manageable even for newer shooters, and the price? Well under what most of these fancy names are charging. But the real reason it's on this list? It proves that reliability doesn't always come with a premium price tag. And trust me, the next one, that tag won't matter. Let's get something straight. This pistol wasn't made for civilian hands originally. The FN 509 platform was born from FN's entry into the U.S. Army's modular handgun system trials. It didn't win the final contract, but what came out of it was a compact battlefield tool built for more than just weekend shooters. The MRD model took things even further. Red dot ready from the factory, upgraded grip texture, no nonsense controls, and chambered in a setup that's known to run dirty without skipping a beat. Law enforcement agencies have been steadily picking these up in droves, and it's easy to see why. It runs like a hammer, feels balanced, and doesn't flinch under pressure. It may not be as hyped in gun shop counters, but anyone who's trained with it knows it delivers when it counts. Next up, we're stepping into a platform that outclasses itself in pure refinement. You'll see. Now, I ain't much for fanciness when it comes to tools meant to keep you alive. This here Compact ain't trying to win no beauty contest, and that's just fine by me. What it does right. Solid in the hand, don't drift, don't bite. Ain't too heavy, neither too light. Just balanced, like a good horse that knows how to ride steady. Grip feels like it was carved for real work, not some store shelf. Shoots flat, stays straight. Trigger don't feel like you're dragging through mud. It breaks clean, resets sharp. Folks will tell you it ain't the flashiest piece out there, but flash don't stop trouble. Steel and sense do. Smith & Wesson didn't just slap a name on this and forget it. They've been fixing, tuning, making sure this one keeps its promise. You'll find it with optic cuts now, better cuts on the slide, even smoother action inside. A lot of folks carry it quiet like. Ain't no showpiece, it's a competition. One you don't talk about much because you're too busy counting on it. You know, I've held plenty of fine shooters in my day. Some loud, some mean, and some that never gave me a reason to cuss. But this one's just built different. This pistol came round quiet. No parade, no firecrackers. Just a steady whisper from folks who matter. Sheriffs, marshals, men who know what it means to carry every single day without letting the weight of steel pull them down. You see, it ain't just compact, it's got more firepower tucked in its belly than most full-sized irons I've known. 17 rounds, packed tight. Slide's been trimmed down, muzzle's been tamed with that little port like it was born to run smooth even in a scuffle. But here's what makes it trusted. It just works. Ain't no fancy talk, no showboating. This thing disappears in a waistband, and when you draw, it points dead center like it knows what you're thinking. I reckon if you had to ride into town with only one compact 9mm on your side, this might be the one you'd bet your life on. Let's keep moving. There's another compact contender waiting just over the ridge, and it ain't playing nice. They say a man's sidearm tells you who he is, and some folks, well, they carry the Staccato CS, not because it's flashy, oh no, not because it's light as a feather, but because it damn well works when everything else falls apart on you. This thing's compact alright, but it don't act small. It's steel framed sure, but rides smoother than most polymer pieces ever dreamed of. There's a certain kick to it, A rhythm like it was tuned by men who had seen trouble up close and figured out how to end it before it starts. It don't jam, it don't bark loud, it just puts rounds where you need 'em and fast. There's folks running it in concealed holsters, in duty rigs, hell, even an open carry for no reason other than they trust it more than anything else. And if you ever get the chance to pull one from leather, you'll understand. Every other compact starts feeling like plastic toys once you've drawn this iron. Ain't no smoke and mirrors with this one. The Masada Slim doesn't scream for attention, but it sure knows how to show up when it counts. You look at it and you already know. This ain't your average full-size showpiece. It's compact, built lean with a low bore access, trimmed down slide, and a no-nonsense grip that fits like it belongs. No fancy names, no premium price tags. Just a damn good shooter that fits under a flannel and stays there until it's needed. You see, folks talk big about modular frames and fancy optics plates. This little bastard is already packing both. And unlike some hyped up models that rattle loose after 500 rounds, the Slim runs clean through classes and carry drills without so much as a hiccup. Israeli design roots, but built for American hands and American problems. It don't look special at first, but you carry it for a month, you'll start questioning why you ever bothered with anything bulkier. And just when you think the compact race is over, what's coming next might rattle that piece real soon. Folks can argue all day about fancy red dots or flared magwells, but when you're halfway through your third 1,000 rounds and haven't seen a single hiccup, that's when the Glock 19 Gen 5 shuts every mouth in the room. This ain't just a compact pistol, it's the default setting for American reliability. Every part's been pressure tested by cops, soldiers, ranchers, and gas station clerks who just want something that won't get them killed. The Gen 5 brought in real upgrades like that marksman barrel and no finger grooves, but it's still the same blocky warhorse that'll chamber every off-brand 9mm you toss its way. You don't need a damn manual to run this thing. Just grip it, load it, press out, and it'll bark every time you pull. And it ain't just hype either. Look at law enforcement agencies, competitive shooters, even first-time carriers. They all land on this thing eventually. Why? Because no matter what's trending, this pistol don't quit, don't jam, and it don't care if you're in a snowstorm or a sandpit. Glock may have newer toys, but when folks say compact carry, this thing still haunts the conversation. But while the Glock 19 owns the battlefield, the number one pick, it owns the shadows, and you'll see why. Every time someone asks me what one compact pistol they should bet their life on, this is the gun I toss on the table, the Springfield Hellcat Pro. Not because of trends, not because some YouTuber hyped it, but because this gun proves itself in real-world carry again and again. Springfield figured something out with the Hellcat platform, a subcompact that handles like a duty pistol, but the Pro, it's the one that balanced it all. The grip is perfect, the recoil feels like it's been sedated, and the red dot readiness straight from the factory, that's forward thinking. It may not be flashy, and it's not trying to be a Gucci gun, but it works. Damn near flawless over thousands of rounds, rough draws, and sweat-soaked holsters in the summer heat. The Pro doesn't choke when it matters, it doesn't get picky with ammo, and it doesn't punish you for carrying it all day. You forget it's even there until you actually need it, and that's what makes it deadly. It doesn't just carry like a compact, it fights like a full-size. But somehow, one more gun crept in, something unexpected. Not mainstream, not loud, but it might be the smartest choice of them all. You won't even believe what it is, so get ready for it. Now look, anyone can toss together a compact pistol list, but trust, that has to be earned. These weren't just spec sheet winners, these were picked because they've survived holsters, range bags, sweaty backlines, and truck glove boxes without quitting. Some cost more and some less, but they all belong on your short list if trust matters more than trend. If one of these pistols already rides with you daily, sound off in the comments. And if you're shopping, I hope this cut through the nonsense for you. More trusted picks coming up next. Stay sharp out there.